are real reasons for depression. I've explained it to you in 100 videos. And pills aren't going to make them any better. It's going to make things much worse because it messes with your brain chemistry. It's a splurge of serotonin. You feel good for a while, temporarily. You sleep better, more energy, it numbs you. But then the brain adapts. It's not a static organ. And it stops producing its own serotonin. And then everything gets sluggish. The good effects are only temporary and then everything fails. The reason for depression are the three obstructions: people, and sin or habit, or food, or other substances. Alcohol is a depressant. A bad relationship is a depressant. And sin is the worst depressant. But you can't make it better with pills. You'll only compound the effect, and these doctors make so much money because they don't have to spend much time with you delving into the deep reasons for your depression. It's just a quick fix. How are your meds? Do we need to exchange them? Or do we need to increase it, decrease it? That's it. A drug industry. And they're making money, and you are ruining your life. Heads in these big universities like Harvard, they shape how the doctors see things. They arrange clinical trials. They are where their money is. They're very friendly in directing them. So that's how doctors see things. They can't really be blamed. It's like a big atmosphere where those are the heads, the big pharma are the heads, and that's how it's going to be. A doctor friend of mine who's very into this wrote to me, academics at the head are very friendly, help with all the clinical research trials, generate a lot of research and exposure. So doctors really have those guidelines and are shaped specifically to see things that way. You don't step out of line. That's where the money is, and in med school, that's where it's all at. It's like a herd, really. And if you go against it, you lose money, you may lose your tenure, you may lose your job. It's a herd. Negative research about what happens with SRIs or benzos is rarely published or it's buried. And doctors who begin to question this are really thrown out. They stop trusting their own intuition. A lot of them realize that the mental health field is going down. It's at its end, but they don't dare do it. And it's about money. They intuitively know, well, this isn't right. It's just quick visits. I make 2 times more money if I give them a 10-minute visit rather than really delving into their problems. I mean, everything isn't a brain disorder. If you're having problems in your marriage, that isn't a brain disorder. If you have a bad habit with drugs and alcohol, well, that brings a brain disorder. But let's get into the initial symptoms. Let's delve into the root of it all. But that's not allowed. It's quick visits. How are your meds? Shall we up it? Shall we switch it? That's it. Doctors get sucked into the whole industry. I can understand that. I don't want to step out of line. I don't want to divert from the standard of care. This is how it's done. It's a pecking order like in all industries. And who dares to step out of line when most of it is funded by big pharma? Duh. It's obvious, right? But when you're in it, you can't see it. That's how things are done. Drugs and drugs only. Doctor said to me, well, my colleagues could line up against me in a malpractice case if I refuse to administer drugs. There's things like that. It means big money. It's a horrible situation when you have a Hippocratic oath and they go into medicine to help people and they get sucked into this vortex. Most doctors are afraid to go against guidelines. So they're focused on pushing drugs. Many of the young doctors are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, paying for their education. So if something goes wrong and they have administered drugs, they can just say, I was just following orders. Now the insurance systems incentivize bad care. Doctors are paid more for 15-minute visits than spending an hour with a patient saying, well, let's talk about your career problems. Let's talk about your family problems and your wife. That's too, they don't have any money for that. It's just 4 15-minute visits in an hour pays you far more than 1 hour visit. Who's going to do that when they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to pay for? This is a bad system. There's no time for a thorough history, for delving into their marriage, for a short education on diet. Diet's the main thing. These people are eating horrible fast food. They have no education on diet at all. Major reason for depression. When do they talk about diet? There's no time for that. 15 minutes is long enough to get into the drugs. How is it working? Should we up it? And then tolerances develop with these drugs. Then they have to have other drugs, secondary drugs, to piggyback. Some patients are on 4 drugs to compensate for the dwindling influence of the first drug. Very bad. Can you see it? A couple years ago, I went into a doctor's office and I filled out this questionnaire, and I wasn't feeling too good that day. You know, you get depressed over things. And it had this question, do you have a depressed mood? I thought, yeah. Gee, somebody's finally taking an interest in me. This is great. Do you have diminished interest? I thought, yeah, I'm getting bored with things. Do you have a diminished concentration? Yeah, I guess I do. I don't read like I used to. Do you have weight change? Yeah, I'm always worried about weight, you know. Do you have thoughts of death? Yeah, as people get older, they do have thoughts of death. Do you have insomnia? Yeah, I don't sleep too good. Do you feel worthless? Yeah, I do feel worthless today. Do you have fatigue or loss of energy? Yeah, I thought, gee, isn't this great? Somebody's finally taking an interest in me. Yeah, and the doctor says, you know, you need an antidepressant. They really pushed it on me. I couldn't believe it. Well, my father was a pharmacist. My brother-in-law was a biochemist for a drug company, and I was against them to begin with, because once they're in you, it's like a LSD bad trip. You gotta wait for it to, oh, it's awful. You gotta wait for it to go out. I'm really afraid of pills. So I didn't take them, but I couldn't believe how much they pushed it on me. Just because I answered a few of these questions didn't feel quite right that day. Since then, I have never answered questions to the affirmative on these doctors, these questions, because I think they could get to the point where they could legally force you to take them. I really do. You know, in the past, in the 80s, if somebody believed in globalism, for example, the Bilderbergers, there was forced drugging. They would force you to take pills. So it scares me, these things in doctors' offices, because I am aware of the commingling of big pharma, big industry, and big medicine. They're coming together now, and I would watch out. When you go see your shrink nowadays, it isn't, well, how things are going in your life now. How are things working in your marriage or whatever? It's, how are your meds working? Should we up it? Should we down it? Should we change it? That's it. Unbelievable. I remember my sister, she was on anti-Ds for her whole life. And whenever we get together with my brother-in-law, a biochemist, for dinner, all they would talk about was all the various medicines. And when I hear women talking, they all know the names of all the different pills, and they talk about it like they're highly intellectual because they know these obscure long names of the pills they're on or the pills they're planning to go on. 1 in 4 older women are on anti-Ds. This is a nightmare. It's like you can't believe it. Once you begin to see it, you can't believe it. Because when you read the horror stories of the problems getting off of these pills, which are buried and not reported, you just have like awakening. And you realize, gee, my mother changed. My sister changed. I didn't even know her anymore. You see marriages failing. The husband says, I don't even know my wife anymore. Nobody talks about that. By drugging over the original problem, the obstruction gets worse. Career, ruined. People relationships in marriages, ruined. Habits, bad habits, much worse. You're more of a compulsive eater now than you ever were. It doesn't take away your appetite. And substances, food, drinking. I mean, the habits get worse, the relationships get worse. But nobody ever talks about that is, how's your meds doing? These drugs disrupt neurotransmitters and throw the physiology of the body off completely. Everything from digestion to everything. So we gain a tolerance to the drugs and they up the dose. Then you need a second one. You see this on television. A second drug to help the first. And I kid you not, some people are on 4 or 5 of them. And they buy into it. They trust their doctors so completely and the medical profession that nobody ever questions it. But they are beginning to question it, but they are outlawed. These drug companies are very friendly. They send out friendly administrators who, give them clinical studies and help them with everything and expose them and take them out to lunch and wine and dine them with vacations. The drug companies are very helpful, but if you step out of line, forget it. This is a conspiracy. I know with antidepressants, you'll have a manic episode. Just, and then they say, oh, she has manic depressive disorder. Oh, so we got to give her a pill for that. I have a relative who's on not only antidepressants, but pills for manic depression. She's bipolar, she says. That's a new thing. I can't help what I'm doing. I'm bipolar. It was bad what I did, but I'm bipolar. This is the way it is. It's an excuse for everything. Not only are they not delving into why the people feel sad, it's people don't take responsibility for their actions. Why should they? They have a disorder. They have a brain disorder. Their brain chemistry is off. So they can't help it. Can't you see the picture here? Does any doctor say, now this pill won't fix the problem, the underlying problem. It will only mask it. Does any doctor say that? Tell me on the comments below if your doctor has ever told you that. This won't fix the underlying problem, it will only mask it. No, sir, they do not say that. Doctors only help where there's profit attached. Long sessions delving into your problems do not bring profit. What a sad state of affairs. I heard Joyce Meyer say, and she's one of my favorites, she said, a Christian can take psych drugs. I mean, it's okay for us to take drugs for our physical illness, so what's wrong with taking drugs for our brain illness? She is very naive to say that. She has millions of people hearing that. Women, 1 in 4 women are on it. It is not okay. You do not have a brain disorder. 1 in 4 women were not born with a brain disorder. Get real. This is a gimmick. And even the people who are in the industry can't really see it. If you're in something, it's hard for you to see it. You have to step out of it to see it. There are people who have written books about what they went through in rehab trying to get off of antidepressants. It was a nightmare. They're blackballed. That people are mad at them. Psychiatrists are mad at them. Gee, you're trying to block people from getting well. Oh my gosh. When it comes to money and when it comes to an easy fix, rather than taking responsibility for your behavior or looking into why it is, people aren't going to go along with it, I guess. Lemmings going off a cliff.